The echoes of room 315. There are some memories that haunt us, some that cling to the darkest recesses of our minds, waiting to resurface when we least expect them. For me, it was room 315. It all began in the summer of 2022. I had recently graduated from college and landed a job as a research assistant at a prestigious institute. My boss, Dr. Hargreaves, was a brilliant yet enigmatic man who had been conducting groundbreaking research in the field of neurology. He had a peculiar interest in the human mind's ability to manipulate and perceive reality. I was both excited and terrified to work under his tutelage. My first assignment was to collect data from an experiment he had been conducting in room 315. The room was located in a secluded wing of the institute, rarely visited by anyone. The walls were lined with shelves filled with dusty old books, and the only source of light came from the dim bulbs hanging from the ceiling. The experiment itself was quite simple. Participants would sit in a chair facing a large mirror, headphones placed over their ears. They would be subjected to a series of binaural beats, sounds designed to alter their brainwaves and induce altered states of consciousness. Dr. Hargreaves believed that this method could help individuals access the deepest, most repressed parts of their minds. The first few days went by smoothly. The participants, all volunteers, reported feelings of relaxation and heightened awareness. Some even claimed to have seen things in the mirror, fragments of their own memories reflected back at them. I diligently took notes and reported my findings to Dr. Hargreaves, who seemed pleased with the progress. It was on the 5th day that things began to change. A young woman named Emily, a quiet and introverted participant, entered room 315 for her session. As the binaural beats started playing, her demeanor shifted. She began to tremble, her eyes darting frantically around the room. I could see beads of sweat forming on her forehead, and her breathing grew shallow and rapid. Suddenly, she let out a blood-curdling scream and tore the headphones off her ears. "I can't do this anymore! I can't!" she cried, her voice quivering with fear. "There's something wrong with this place, with that mirror. It's showing me things, horrible things that I can't explain." I tried to calm her down and reassure her that it was all a part of the experiment, but she would hear none of it. She left the institute that day, her face pale and her eyes hollow. I reported the incident to Dr. Hargreaves, who was more intrigued than concerned. "It seems we're getting closer to unlocking the mind's hidden potential," he said, a mysterious glint in his eyes. "We must press on." Over the following weeks, more participants exhibited similar reactions to the experiment. Some claimed to see grotesque, distorted versions of themselves in the mirror, while others insisted they saw dark, shadowy figures lurking behind them. Despite the mounting unease among the participants, Dr. Hargreaves insisted that we continue the study. "This is a crucial step in understanding the human mind," he said, his voice firm and unwavering. "We must not let fear hold us back." As the incidents grew in frequency, the atmosphere in room 315 became increasingly oppressive. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching me, lurking just beyond the edges of my perception. The air seemed to grow thicker, and a cold chill permeated the room, even on the warmest of days. One night, as I was working late in the institute, I decided to enter room 315 alone. I couldn't explain it, but I felt drawn to the room, compelled to confront the source of the unease that had gripped me for weeks. I sat down in the chair and placed the headphones over my ears, the binaural beats filling my head. As I stared into the mirror, I saw my reflection gradually begin to warp and distort. My eyes sunk into dark hollows, and my skin took on a sickly pallor. A sinister smile spread across my twisted visage, and a feeling of dread washed over me. I ripped the headphones off and stumbled out of the room, my heart pounding in my chest. I confronted Dr. Hargreaves the next day, demanding an explanation for what I had experienced. He listened to my account with a calm, detached expression before finally speaking. "Sometimes the human mind hides things from us, memories or thoughts that we'd rather not confront," he said, his voice soft and measured. "Room 315 and the experiment are merely tools to uncover those buried truths. What you saw was a manifestation of your own fears, your own subconscious." I struggled to accept his explanation, but as the days wore on, I found myself unable to shake the memory of that night. The twisted reflection in the mirror haunted my dreams, and I began to question my own sanity. Eventually, The experiment was brought to a premature end. The Institute's ethics committee, having caught wind of the disturbing incidents, deemed the study too dangerous to continue. Dr. Hargreaves, however, remained undeterred. "Setbacks are a part of progress," he told me as we packed up the equipment in room 315. "One day, the world will understand the importance of our work." After that day, room 315 was sealed off, its secrets left to gather dust in the darkness. I moved on from the Institute, finding work in a less controversial field. But I could never truly forget what had happened there. The echoes of room 315 forever etched into my mind. Years later, I discovered that Dr. Hargreaves had passed away under mysterious circumstances. His body was found in his home, seated in front of a large mirror with headphones over his ears. The authorities ruled his death a suicide, but I couldn't help but wonder if the truth was far more sinister. Had the experiment in room 315 unlocked something dark and malevolent within the human mind, a force too powerful for us to comprehend? Or had the doctor's obsession with the unknown led him down a path of self-destruction? The answers to those questions remain as elusive as the shadows that haunted room 315. But one thing is certain. The terrifying memories of that place continue to linger in the dark corners of my mind, an ever-present reminder of the horrors that can emerge when we delve too deeply into the unknown. There are moments, late at night, when I catch a glimpse of my reflection in the mirror and see a flicker of that twisted visage from so long ago. I'm left to wonder if it's merely a trick of the light, or if the echoes of room 315 are still resonating within me. A haunting reminder of the darkness that lies just beneath the surface of our own minds. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more true scary stories.